In this video, I'm going to show you how small daily habits can have a profound impact on your feeling of self-worth. And I'm sharing 3 habits that I have personally used to heal myself. And I'm only sharing habits that are backed by science so you can trust that they work. Did you experience emotional abuse and neglect as a child? I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you likely did. And if that's the case, you likely still have a small child that's stuck inside of you that didn't get what they needed. And they're still unsure of themselves and scared. The first step is to take care of your inner child. This is something that I do every single morning when I get up. All of us, when we wake in the morning, get this extra shot of cortisol. It actually helps us wake up. And cortisol is also often associated with anxiety. So you're going to naturally have this anxious feeling in the morning when you wake up. I often do. And one of the things that I do every morning is talk to my inner child. My inner child's name is little Chrissy. And I talk to her. I imagine hugging her. Sometimes I actually wrap my arms around myself. I tell little Chrissy that everything's going to be okay. By doing this, one of the things you're doing is honoring the feelings of your inner child. These are the feelings that your inner child never got when they were, in that stage of life. And so you're honoring that fear, honoring that uncertainty, honoring that discomfort that they have in the morning. And this is really important. It's important because we're creating that sense of safety for ourselves that we didn't get as a child. You are also simultaneously, while reparenting your inner child, you are telling that inner child that you are now capable of doing the things that that inner child didn't feel that it was capable of doing. You are the parent now. You are the adult, and you've got this. When I have these feelings of, uncertainty and feelings of being scared, and my inner child is really being active, I pause and take a moment and basically say to myself, I see you. I see you, inner child. I see you, little Chrissy, and you're okay. Everything's okay. I'm in charge. I'm taking care of this. Basically, I'll just say, I've got this. This feeling of fear and being uncertain and scared, it's a feeling. It's not real. As adults, we have learned how to take care of ourselves. We have learned how to put one foot in front of the other and do the things that we need to do every day. And that feeling is part of that inner child fear, but it's not real. You can start to rely and have faith in yourself that you will be able to do the things that you need to do when you need to do them without even thinking about it. And this act in and of itself will help strengthen your feelings of self-worth. As I said, there's science to back this up. Revisiting our childhood and reparenting ourselves and creating the feeling of safety we didn't get as a child rewires the neural pathways in our brains. By practicing this habit on a daily basis, you have the power to rewire your brain. Childhood emotional abuse and neglect left me with anxiety, depression, PTSD, codependence, an anxious attachment style, and a tendency to choose toxic relationships. I was facing a life sentence of mental illness, misery, and loneliness if I didn't figure this out. And it all changed when I realized that it was my childhood wounds that were driving all of this. And I learned that I had to go back and heal my childhood wounds in order to help fix all of these things. In this channel, I'm combining my personal experience as a survivor of childhood trauma with my professional experience of 30 years as a registered nurse and nurse educator. I'm here to give you the curated science-backed approach that I wish I had had, so you don't have to waste years of your life doing trial and error and trying to figure out what's going to work to heal your childhood trauma at its root. Did you notice that the title of this video used the word habit and not hack? When you become a YouTuber or you try to become a YouTuber, you may watch a lot of videos about how to, keep an audience and how to get an audience. And one of the things they're always telling you is try to create a transformation for people with the least amount of effort as possible. And that's really what hacks are. And there aren't hacks when it comes to mental health. Things that work to heal mental health are based on things that you have to do regularly and that you have to practice so that they actually become regular and routine. And a habit is something that becomes routine because you're doing it over and over and over again. And when you're doing something over and over and over again on a daily basis, it becomes effortless. And that's the thing that makes it feel small, that effortlessness. Do you ever wonder why some people seem content and resilient and like everything's going okay, even when they're facing really big challenges in their lives? There's a simple practice that science shows can profoundly shift your outlook and boost your sense of self-worth. I'm talking about gratitude. And I ask that if you haven't tried it, I'm recommending that you stick with this conversation and listen to the next section because it really has the ability to profoundly impact your outlook. My recommendation, if you haven't ever done this before, is by starting small. And that would be on a daily basis and pick a time of day that works well for you. So if you have more time in the morning, maybe do it in the morning. And if you have more time, for a bedtime routine, I recommend doing it then. And you just sit down with a notebook and you write down, you could do 5 to 10 things that you're grateful for. And it can be very simple things. And it's okay to repeat things as well. Studies have shown that gratitude journaling disconnects people from toxic emotions like envy and resentment. By focusing on positive aspects of life and strengthening social ties through appreciation, it is associated with increased optimism, greater resilience, and has been found to strengthen self-worth over time. And neuroscience research shows that gratitude activates brain regions associated with reward, enhancing feelings of contentment. From my experience, when I'm actively practicing gratitude, I feel these rewards pretty much immediately. It really shifts your outlook on life. There's a book that I recommend to people about practicing gratitude. It's called Living in Gratitude, and it's written by Arrien. And this book goes very, very deep on how to practice gratitude. And it will teach you all kinds of things, all kinds of ways to practice gratitude that you would have never considered before. And the other thing that's really great about this book is that it goes kind of in around the calendar sort of format. So you can pick it up at any time of the year and you can go to the month of January, for example, or if you pick it up in summer, the month of July, and it will walk you through specific activities for that month. And so there's always something new and always something fresh, a fresh way to kind of dive into this practice. And I'm going to link this book. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. I wanted to take a minute and let you know that I have created a mental health resource guide that contains information about all of the things that I've done over the past several years to heal myself. And I want to share those things with you. There's a link in the description. If you click it, I will send the guide to you for free. If any of this information is resonating with you, it would be great if you click the like button. That really helps to ensure that more folks get to see this video. And if you are interested in maybe a full video about practicing gratitude, and I can dive more deeply into some of the things in this book that I showed you, I'd be happy to do that. Let me know in the comments, or if there's anything else that you want me to cover specifically, let me know in the comments. I really want to hear some feedback from you. Thanks. Have you noticed that some days you feel more confident and capable, and then on other days you're just dragging and your self-esteem is low? Well, what if the secret to having a consistent feeling of self-worth was as basic as how we treat our body? The third habit is to prioritize taking care of your body. And you can do that one habit at a time. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the idea of habit stacking. I know for myself that when I am struggling with any sort of mental illness, that's anxiety or depression, I do not do a very good job of taking care of myself. And it's easier to kind of fix that and right the ship if we pick kind of one simple thing to do at a time. One of the things that I know kind of goes out the window when I'm not feeling good about myself is taking my meds, taking my medication on time. And so making a consistent effort to take your medications on time is going to enhance your feelings of self-worth. You are actively taking care of yourself. Habit stacking is this idea that you're more likely to get into a new habit if you stack it on one that already exists. And so for me, taking my medication, and this might work for you, is easy to do and easy to remember if I stack it on something else, like brushing my teeth. And so I have all of my medications right next to my toothbrush and my toothpaste. And every day I pull them out and, lay them out and take them as part of brushing my teeth. And so think about some sort of thing, so the habits that you do every single day, brushing your teeth, flossing, anything like that, and try to add something to that, because that is going to be an easier way of actually making it become a habit. So other things that you could think about stacking or adding to your routine would be if you're not eating great. This is also another thing that I think we all struggle with, but we struggle with it even more when we're struggling with the mental illness, is we don't eat well. We eat crappy when we're not feeling good, right? So it's a matter of prioritizing getting good, nourishing food in. And so an easy thing you could do to habit stack is commit to having a piece of fruit or a vegetable with each meal, or even start by picking one meal a day that you're going to make sure that you add something whole, a piece of fruit or a vegetable to. Another thing we do when we're not feeling well emotionally and mentally is we isolate. And so another thing you could consider doing is adding a commitment and a habit around connecting with other people, connecting with loved ones. And so that could be something that you could stack on your day is, I'm going to reach out to one friend every day at noon with my lunch. The science. Research shows that self-care practices like adequate sleep, healthy eating, and social connection are directly linked to improved mood, cognitive function, and overall well-being by positively impacting neurobiology and reducing stress hormones. I hadn't mentioned sleep yet, and it's incredibly important when you're struggling with any sort of mental illness to prioritize sleep. I prioritize sleep. I defend it very strongly, like it's a really high priority for me. And I actually go to bed about an hour earlier than I maybe would want to, because I always want to kind of plan ahead so that if I struggle to get to sleep in any night, then I'm giving myself a really nice big buffer. So that's one of the things that I do. There are all kinds of things that you can do to improve your sleep. And I just recently did a video series specifically focused on improving your sleep. And I'm going to link that here, so you should go check that out.